even with the yokai shift. This motherfucker was raw dogging me harder than that one me. So when recording this, I did not realize how fast I was talking. So y'all gonna have to deal with that. Hey, it's been a while since I uploaded on my YouTube channel, but this shit takes time, bro. I needed to tee the fuck up for the last couple of months, years, I don't know. Anyway, I decided to play one of the hardest games of all time. Not that one. Not that one either. Not gonna lie, forgot the milk with that one. Yeah, Nioh 2, yes sir! Now I played Nioh 1 last year, and dear God, the amount of pain that game caused me was at least 10 times worse than what Guts went through. And to say it was harder was an understatement. To give context, I cheesed through most of that game by using magic that lowers the enemy's defenses and boosted my damage. And most bosses went down with 2 attempts. It was no problem because the method was broken. What can I say? I'm just too goated for that. Bro, tell me why I went 32-0 against that bootleg Elsa while basically using cheat codes. And don't get me started on that jump you call a final boss. Anyways, this game was hella fun because of the different combat system it has. Although it may look like a bootleg Sekiro at hindsight, the game combat is hella complex, and I'm gonna try to explain it in simple terms, so please bear with me. This game has 3 stances that you can attack with: low, mid, and high. Low stance makes your attack faster, but it does the least amount of damage. Mid stance makes your attack hit harder than lows, but it's also slower than lows at the same time. High stance deals the highest amount of damage possible, but your attack speed is slow as fuck. I mean, by the time I hit a 5-piece combo, I came back with the milk with Sekiro already. All these stances apply to every single weapon, and if you do it correctly, you can hit some crazy ass combos. Unless you're getting jumped by 8 Hydra head. There's also a mechanic called key pulse, where you can press RB at a certain time and it'll make your stamina come back faster, and other benefits that I forgot about. We also have a special weapon that I will mention later on. When I played Nioh 1, I only used the katana and the adochi because those weapons treated me right. So when playing Nioh 2, I'm going to use completely different weapons. Woo! Speaking of which, let's get straight into it. Before we get into it, I am not going over the entire game in just one video. In fact, it will be multiple videos before I finish this game, because by the time I'm typing this script, I only completed 1 mission, and that was a tutorial. So nah, this entire game is not getting done in 1 video, so sorry about that. So the game started off with a narrator telling us a story of a dude who had horns and was loved by the village for it, because at this time, the world didn't have any enemies. But for no reason, they turned on my mans faster than your homies when you couldn't clutch a 1v5. And this man took it personally too, because after that, this nigga went on demon timing and started attacking the whole village. But after this sparked a random nobody to turn into Himothy when he got all the infinity stones and turned it into a blade just to beat the demon's ass. Now, I'm gonna stop the story right here, because this is where I realized this game was built differently. Now, while she was explaining the story, I suddenly realized that she just stopped. She like stopped talking for no reason. Then I noticed a red mark on the screen, and it just hit me. They killed the narrator mid-monologue. I mean, I've seen main characters get killed off in the intro, but not the narrator. I mean, like, where's the damn part number at? How did they expect me to be a 40+ hour game when the narrator couldn't make it past 5 minutes? Back to the story, the person who killed the narrator was a black figure who had the manga Go Sharingan. Yo, where the fuck Zoro and Tobirama at? This figure proceeds to stab us, the protagonist, when we were a child. Oh, by the way, the narrator was my mom, which doesn't make sense, cause this is Jin.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
And you must be smoking hella crack if you think that's my mom. After that brief intro section, we did a tutorial, then we started the first mission. After a villager woke us up because he couldn't handle a golem on meth, we proceeded to make our way to see why there are demons trying to disturb my sleep. So after defeating the GOM, we encountered Benny the Masker on LSD. And not gonna lie, he was putting in work. Now, if you remember 3 minutes ago, I mentioned that we had a special weapon in Nioh 1. And I'm not gonna lie, this special weapon carried my Nioh 1 playthrough besides the magic. The name of this weapon was called Living Weapon. Yeah, so basically we had animals go into our weapon, and it basically made our weapon a bootleg demon slayer move. Now it's basically like an ultra move inside a Dark Souls game, so you couldn't really use it all the time, but that did not stop the cheese clapping I did on that game, bro. I'm telling you, I soloed like 3 bosses by myself, no summons, mostly because the game was dead at that point I played it. So Nioh 2 decided to switch things up a little bit, and instead of using our weapon to defeat the demon, we decided to become the demon ourselves, and this mechanic is called the Bankai shift. Yeah, I know it's called a yokai shift. I just wanted it to sound cool. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, even with the yokai shift, this motherfucker was raw dogging me harder than that one meme. Mainly because I was still getting used to the controls. But still. Oh, by the way, this wasn't even a boss fight. This was a mini boss. Yeah, I don't know who decided to make the second enemy of a game a mini boss. But I hope you stubbed your toe on a Lego. After defeating him, I basically just massacred the entire village until I made my way to the first boss, which was basically a redesign of the mini boss that I got my ass handed to me from. But except this time it was a little bit different. So I may or may not have accidentally jumped him because I didn't know it was a boss fight beforehand. And that ass whooping from earlier gave me PTSD, so I ain't taking no chances. After peacefully talking to that demon, I started to tweak the fuck out. But out of nowhere, this whack ass Zenitsu dude comes in with his monkey on his shoulder and he saves us. And for some reason, he wanted us to help push some kush with him. And I said, fuck it. I should have said no. Anyway, in the next mission, there wasn't really anything special. I just met with a dude with a fucked up hairline who just wanted our services, fought a charity on steroids, and we also met Fino Inosuke. She was not rocking with us as she did. Now this last mission was one of the worst levels I've ever experienced with this game up to this point. The first problem I had with this game was these rocket slinging fisting demons. That sounds wild out of context. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said it like that. They were fairly easy to deal with, but the way this one just snipes me in this one clip really pissed me off.
Be big chilling for no reason. Hey! Hey, hey!
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, bro. Nah. And the second problem I had with this mission. Now hear me out. This is something I want no smoke with. I ran up on this thing trying to spit some wrists because, you know, and this thing started to rock my shit relentlessly, bro. She really thought she was Willow Smith the way she was whipping her hair back and forth.
Ooh, okay.
Treat me like what is.
What you trying to do?
Ooh, okay, whoa. Hey, hold on, bro.
Hello?
No way. Also, she a bitch for jumping me like that. Anyway, the third and last problem I had with this mission was the damn boss fight. This boss fight started off with the snake slithering towards me, and not gonna lie, it was really easy to dodge. I mean, even a little child could dodge that shit. So when I dodged him and hit him, I noticed that this motherfucker was eating them bitches. I mean, I could slap it with a wet noodle and it still would have done more damage than what I was doing. And that's the worst part. It was designed like that. Like, it wasn't my weapon being weak or me being under level, but it was just built to take shots. Like, what? Anyways, y'all may have been tuning me out and just been watching me getting the dog shit beat out of me. And y'all may have noticed this snake is built different than most snakes. And that's because of this big ass rock on top of his head. Yeah, I'm kidding. Now, y'all already know how I feel about jumping. But this bitch didn't care. He just suddenly grew 2 snakes for arms, which wasn't a problem, until he took them off and started jumping me. And I couldn't focus on one of the snakes because the big ass snake will follow you and attack you if you're not paying him attention. And if you ignore the little snakes and attack the main body will grab you harder than SpongeBob did the crabs, or they will whip you harder than Catwoman. Anyways, I regret ever playing this game as soon as I encountered this boss fight because there was no real way of beating him, even after looking at the strat, which was what I was doing before I watched the video, which was just attacking his arm so that the second phase is easier. But I still kept dying to that even after doing that, until I figured out his weakness. So when I was at the shrine, which is basically like your bonfire in this game, there's a little shop that had random weapons that you can buy. There were healing items, arrows, cannon, lightning amulet, lightning amulet. At the time, it seemed really random that there's a lightning amulet with all these useful items, even though I never encountered magic before. So I just randomly thought, what if that's his weakness? And it was. But that did not make the boss fight any easier. In fact, it made it 10 times harder because I had to predict when to use the lightning magic at the right time. And even when I used it, I had to figure out when I could use it effectively because that shit runs out fast. and I still died many times even after activating the lightning magic. And the only reason I won was because I used my Bankai shit at the right time and I finished it. After that bullshit boss battle, we meet our dad. Yep, the dude with the fucked up hairline was actually our dad. And not even 5 seconds after seeing him, he somehow avoids paying all the child support he owes by dying like the bitch he is. Also, he knew where the blade I mentioned earlier when my mom got killed was, and he also sent us to that location, which will be in the next video. Sorry, I'm ending it on the 3rd mission, but that's where the region ended, and I'm only doing 1 or 2 regions per video, and I'm not gonna change that, so y'all gonna have to wait another month or so. Anyway, hope you had a great eating night, day, whatever it is over there. I'll just see y'all later. Peace.